Alright, so now I'm going to talk about how to fish a Carolina rig plastic. So I'll start out with some of the tackle. I like using a bait casting rod, or bait casting reel rather, for this kind of fishing. You get more control and I just like using bait casters better. So this is a Daiwa Steez bait casting reel, extremely good reel, very lightweight. And then for rods, you obviously kind of match it to the weight you're using, but this is sort of a medium action bait casting rod. Not particularly fast or slow action, kind of a medium action rod. And then the way you rig up for the Carolina rig, first off, you have a weight between a 1/2 ounce and I'd say 1 ounce. You'll probably never be fishing more than 1 ounce. And you want to fish enough weight so that it gets to the bottom and sits on the bottom. And then you want to put a little bead here. There's a little colored bead. You might even want to throw more than one on there. And when it sits on the bottom, as you pull it along, the weight hits the bead and kind of makes a clacking sound, helps draw the bass. And then between, I'd say, this is probably on the short end, between 18 inches and 48 inches, depending on how deep you're fishing, you would have the like a Texas rig plastic. Here I'm using a salamander, which is a really good bait for this kind of fishing, Carolina rig. I usually do this kind of rig when the fish are a little deeper. So basically you cast it out, let it sink to the bottom, and then kind of pull the weight along the bottom, letting it rest pretty often, because a lot of times as the bait falls down, hits the bottom, the fish will see it on the way down, come to inspect it, look at the lure, be sitting there trying to figure out whether to bite it, and then you kind of twitch it a little bit and that'll trigger them into striking. So a lot of times for the strike, you'll just feel kind of a weight at the end of the line as you're moving it. So that's, especially if the weight starts moving off in any direction, you set the hook as quickly as possible. But the good thing is that because it's a big plastic lure, the fish is going to hold on to it for a long time. You probably have 5-10 seconds on average. So you can see if the line's moving off in one direction or another, and then you'll know a fish is on there. And you just kind of keep working it slowly back to the boat along the bottom, just crawling it along. The plastic will kind of float a little bit behind the weight, and you want to just kind of let it swing naturally behind there, not move it too fast, just kind of drag it along the bottom. Once in a while this weight will catch on something. You might need to kind of pop it over like a rock or something, but for the most part you just drag it along the bottom and then let it sit and wait to see if there's either a weight at the end of your line or your line starts moving off. And you reel up the slack, give it a good hard hook set, make sure you pull the hook through the plastic into the fish's mouth, and that's how you fish the Carolina rig.